Alright lads, how are you all doing? So recently I came up with a video that compiled all of Hamilton's cut songs, so songs that are in various stages of development or like alternative versions that didn't make the final cut. And I thought it'd be really interesting, because I've never seen this video, I thought it'd be really cool to react to them, see if I think these songs should have made it. I presume some form of congratulations is going to be in this, because that's, you know, the big famous one that I think most Hamilton fans have heard of. But apart from that, not really sure about any of them, so let's give it a watch.
You ever see a painting by John Trumbull? Founding fathers in a line, looking all humble. Patiently waiting to sign a declaration and start a nation. No sign of disagreement, not one grumble. The reality is messier and richer, kids. The reality is not a pretty picture, kids. Every cabinet meeting is a full-on rumble. What you about to see is no John Trumbull.
Okay, I can completely see why that was cut. Completely unnecessary. It's fine, but just doesn't flow well with the show. It doesn't, you know, replace what we've already seen well enough.
Look! Grandpa's in the paper! War hero Philip Schuyler in danger of losing Senate seat to young upstart Aaron Burr. Grandpa might lose his seat in the Senate.
I thought he was unopposed.
Not according to the paper, he isn't.
Go make sure the door is closed.
Further down, see Schuyler has a challenger from New York.
New York
For Senator Burr.
I gotta find Alexander.
Let him know we're on his side.
No, he'll consider this a personal slander. I've gotta stop a homicide.
Oh.
Look around, we should look around. Let's go and find your father down in New York.
New York.
So obviously this seems like this bit of the song is going to continue. For that bit, not as bad as the first bit we just saw. But again, it's funny, but you know, with a musical like Hamilton, it kind of needs to snap. It kind of, you know, it needs to do a lot of history very quickly. So it does kind of just have to snap through the beats it has to snap through. So yeah, that is probably 30 seconds the show doesn't need, and just slows the pacing down a little bit, especially as it's continuing a song that isn't very good in the original and is kind of only there to move the story forward. But let's see if the Burr confrontation is any different.
Burr, since when are you a Democratic Republican?
Since being one put me on the up and up again.
No one knows who you are or what you do.
They don't need to know me, they don't create. But upstate you're the rascal who trades away the capital.
Wait.
The asshole who taxes the alcohol.
I've always considered you a friend.
I don't see why that has to end. A Senate seat was up for grabs and I took it. It's not my fault. People think you're crooked.
You're gonna make a fool of me through my father-in-law?
Well, there's the kid who almost shot Charles Lee in the jaw.
Alexander, there you are.
Eliza.
You forgot your papers, Mr. Burr, good sir, it's been so long. How are the Theodosians?
As a matter of fact, my wife has taken ill.
I'm not surprised, what with the chill, you'll send her our regards.
I will. She's the same age as your boy.
Yeah, one day he'll run
We
Manhattan.
must be going, Burr, but send your girls our love.
Nice to meet your son.
We're not done, Mr. Burr, sir.
If I were you, I'd stick with her, sir.
So the changes made there to the Hamilton-Burr specific confrontation, unnecessary. I quite liked the more human notes between Eliza and Burr, obviously, because, you know, we have a beautiful song like Dear Theodosia, which really works in the show, but doesn't really get followed up upon apart from, you know, some bits in The World Was Wide Enough. So I don't know, I wouldn't actually be that opposed to that little bit being in the show. I do think it's quite good.
What in the hell was that? What in the hell are you doing downtown? Don't you know that Burr is gonna run against your father to humiliate me and try to bring us down? I will not let our family be embarrassed like this. I'll grab a pen and paper, let the whole world know. You swing at my family, you better not miss. You better have another punch to throw.
You could let it go, stay alive for me. Let it go, live to fight another day. People will always be critical, they'll make the personal political. They're trying to knock you off your pedestal, your pinnacle. Let other people be cynical, let it go. You don't have to bring a gun to a knife fight. It's not a case of your money or your life right.
You know you really ought to listen to your wife, right?
I know.
So let it go.
Talk
So that bit we just saw, I'm not really sure we need this another bit of Burr. But the bit we just saw with Eliza confronting him, yeah, a little bit shorter could be nice. But I think there are some really nice bits in that.
Here's where I'd cut it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Senator Aaron Burr. Everybody know you can take a body blow. Let everybody know you can learn to let it go.
And at this point, yeah, the Burr stuff not really needed. We've done this. This doesn't flow with the show. Just to save you time, the Adams administration is pretty much the same, but then Hamilton is about to go into an actual insult type spiel. So let's see if it's any good.
An open letter to the fat, arrogant, anti-charismatic, national embarrassment known as President John Adams.
Shit.
The man's irrational. He claims that I'm in league with Britain in some vast international intrigue. Bitch, please, you wouldn't know what I'm doing. You're always going berserk, but you never show up to work. Give my regards to Abigail next time you write about my lack of moral compass. At least I do my job up in this rumpus. The line is behind me, I crossed it again. Well, the president lost it again. Oh, such a rough life. Better run to your wife, you're the bosses in Boston again. Let me ask you a question. Who sits at your desk when you're in Massachusetts? They were calling you a dick back in 76, and you haven't done anything new since. You nuisance with no sense. You'll die of irrelevance. Go ahead, you can call me the devil you
Okay, I'm not going to show all of it because it's pretty much the same stuff. Very good, very fun, showing off Lynn's brilliant style. Unnecessary. It's a minute which doesn't move the plot forward long enough. It's good that it's out there. It's good that it's there for people to know it exists. But for the show, I understand why they cut it. But I would understand if it was in there because it is a fun moment. And now here we have Congratulations, which is obviously the famous Hamilton cut song. So obviously I'm going to say this should have been in there.
Angelica.
Alexander! Congratulations. You have invented a new kind of stupid, a damage you can never undo kind of stupid, and open all the cages in the zoo kind of stupid. Truly, you didn't think this through kind of stupid. Let's review. You took a rumor a few, maybe two people knew, and refuted it by sharing an affair of which no one has accused you. I begged you to take a break, you refused to. So scared of what your enemies will do to you. You're the only enemy you ever seem to lose to. You know what, Jefferson can do what he wants. He doesn't dignify schoolyard taunts with a response. So yeah, congratulations.
If you want to check out the full version, it is on YouTube, or you can look at this video. I'm not going to play the full version because this video will just be too long. But overall, this is just a famous example, and I would love if this song made it into the show, because Angelica is one of my favourite Hamilton characters, but she really doesn't get enough to do, especially in Act 2, and I think this was such an important song for her character, and I really think this should have been in the show. Maybe Lynn regrets it nowadays, I don't know, but this should definitely be in the show.
Dear Theodosia, how to say to you? Sometime last night, your mother breathed your name, and like a flame that flickers out too soon, she died. She's gone.
That's really emotionally powerful. I didn't know that was originally the plan. But again, like I said, I think a lot of Dear Theodosia isn't followed up upon, and I think this could maybe like help to clarify some of Burr's choices in Act 2 a little bit more. Yeah, I think this should be in the show. I really do. I think this is really emotionally powerful and works incredibly well. Now next we have a new version of Obedient Servant, which I think I knew existed, but I don't think I've ever actually listened to it.
Dear Alexander, I submit for your immediate perusal a letter from a Dr. Charles Cooper, who was kind enough to give me his approval to reprint a letter that he sent in confidence. He claims that on numerous occasions you have called me a dangerous man.
Yeah, I can see why they went with the other version of this, just immediately, just lyrically, it just doesn't work as well. Like, yeah, it might give more, more of a reason for the duel. It's just not particularly lyrically that interesting, which is obviously, quite an important part of a musical.
Dear Mr. Burr, I reflected on the letter I received from you on the afternoon of June 18th, and I'm afraid that I cannot provide you with the kind of answer that you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't think I need to listen to any more of this. You know, it's fine, but I think this severely weakens the great song that is Obedient Servant with too much wordy dialogue and not enough just straight to the point insults for me. I definitely understand why they went with the version we know and love. Next, to clarify this next bit, it's a version of, I think it's called a different name, it's pretty much The World Is Wide Enough, but in this version, Hamilton gets a verse, so let's have a listen.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
One last thought.
number 1.
Before we got in the boat to cross the Hudson, I stopped to write a note. Actually, I wrote 2, just in case I didn't make it through. I want the world to know what I intended to do.
Number 3.
If I shoot first and throw it away, he has to yield. We both get to live another day. I know this puts me in a difficult spot, but I've got to throw away my shot.
Number 4.
I get lucky, I draw first position.
Whether I like it or not, I don't like the idea that they reference the idea that Hamilton throws away his shot, because one of the cool things that makes this song so cool is obviously Burr doesn't wait for it, Hamilton throws away his shot. I've always found that one of the really cool things about this song, and this verse kind of ruins that a little bit. Obviously, you know, it's not a big thing, but I'd change that line for me, because I like that metaphor isn't directly said, it's just a metaphor.
I stand facing east as I load my ammunition. The sun is in my eyes. I am almost giddy as I watch it slowly rise over my New York City. I start to shake when I realize that we are in the same spot. My son died, is that why?
6.
I examined the gun that we shared. Philip never hurt a soul, he must have been so scared.
7.
My Eliza is still asleep. I left.
Now, I can understand why some people would want this to be in the show. However, this might, you know, seem a bit odd. I like the idea that Hamilton doesn't get his last words. All the way through, we see Hamilton write his way out of trouble and speak his way out of trouble. And I kind of like the idea that when he gets shot, he doesn't, you know, that's it, he doesn't get to worm his way out of trouble, even if, you know, that's more metaphorically, it's obviously he's not worming his way out of trouble, he's just speaking to the audience. But I don't like the idea that he gets that opportunity almost. Does that make sense? Again, it's one of those that I like it exists. I like that it exists for people to go discover, but for me, it doesn't work in the show. I think it ruins the effectiveness of World Was Wide Enough. And that is it. So yeah, there are a couple of bits from that I would keep, a couple of bits I'm really glad are out there, but I don't think deserve to be in the show, and there are a couple of bits that, you know, it's fine, but they really weren't for me. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.